Sampha Lahai album review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this latest album, the second full-length album from UK-based singer-songwriter Sampha. He's been at it for a few years now, but like I said, he is one of the more elusive names in modern R&B, even though he has been a fairly busy boy as far as features go since his debut a few years ago. The guy's worked with Kendrick Lamar, he's worked with Frank Ocean, he's worked with Jessie Ware, and if you've ever listened to a Subtract project, you've probably heard a lot of Sampha. But leading up to his debut album Process back in 2017, I was hyped, and honestly, I think the album's a little underrated, even though it's been considered one of the better debut albums of the last 10 years or so. This thing is so just forward-thinking. It is genuinely progressive without losing any of the sheer emotion and heart that went into the songwriting, because it is a very powerful project. Really creative as well. Now, we have been waiting very patiently since then to see what Sampha would do next, and leading up to this thing, I thought he dropped two awesome singles. Let's chat about this thing. For the most part, the hype is real on this thing. Spirit 2.0, very early on the album. I mean, I love the hell out of this thing as a single, and I think it's just only grown on me since then. It is awesome. This is the sort of truly progressive, forward-thinking R&B and soul that I love hearing these days. It is everything that I wanted to hear on this album, rolled into one track. It takes its time, it really builds around Sampha and his vocals on this track, and throughout almost every track on this album are just so buttery smooth. And the absolutely gorgeous, truly life-affirming lyrics are icing on the cake. I think it's awesome. Dancing Circles is a little bit lighter on the ears, but in every way, this is Sampha's calling card. It does a fantastic job of laying out an atmosphere where Sampha can really shine. Those vocals can really pop. It reels you in, though, and Sampha sounds absolutely amazing. Suspended, on the other hand, this is one of my favorite tracks here by far. His vocals, they just don't get much better than this. They are absolutely stunning. I love everything about the atmosphere of this track. Sampha's performance is A1. On one hand, it is very light and airy, and Sampha has room to breathe, but on the other hand, the drama and the urgency behind this track, especially in the very tense pianos, bring the best out of him. Jonathan L. Seagull is also really, really good. I mean, almost every track, every instrumental, every beat that Sampha pops on does a really great job of complementing his vocals. This is just another really strong showing. It's got some really classy, and I mean truly classy group vocals as well. And when this thing gets a little beat halfway through it, it becomes absolutely euphoric. It just puts a smile on my face. It's just so full of love and life. This is the kind of R&B and soul that I will show up for on any day of the week. Now, I know y'all love this thing, and I understand completely why y'all love this thing. But there are a few moments here where I just kind of would much rather listen to Process. Like Stereo Color Cloud Shaman's Dream that kicks this album off. This was an underwhelming intro. It is overly busy, it is needlessly heady, and most importantly, it doesn't really play to any of Sampha's strengths. His vocals are fine, his performance is solid, but I can tell you 8 tracks on this album that are so much better. It comes off with a lot of good ideas, but they're not arranged the right way, I feel like. And I do not feel like we needed the satellite business interlude so early in the album. Is it unlistenable? No, but I felt like this album was just getting rolling. Also, the timepiece interlude, we didn't need that either. It just makes things kind of feel like weirdly off-kilter and just unorganized. And can't go back. I'm shocked at how poor this track is. I think it's the worst track here. It's one of the headier and busier tracks here, which I don't usually mind that much, but something about this really irks me. Sampha still sounds great on this track. His vocals just still pop so hard, but I feel like the instrumental and the production and all the risks that are taken on this track actually detract from his vocal performance. Every beat shift and production choice on this track just take away more than gain. I mean, I love a progressive, sort of heady, wild, progressive R&B and soul track as much as the next guy, but this, to me, is overkill, honestly. And Rose Tint as a finale, this is tough, man. This is easily one of the most experimental cuts on this album. It is left field and genuinely out there. The production is glitchy. This beat is all over the place. It's really tough to kind of tell where this track is going, which could be exciting in some cases, but here this just kind of feels scatterbrained. Like, I feel like Sampha listened back to the album, wanted one more cut that was just like super experimental and just threw everything at the wall, and it doesn't stick, at least not for me. But this is still a very easy to listen to alternative R&B album with a ton of great ideas, like Inclination, Compass, Tenderness. This is one of the most stripped down and, dare I say, dramatic tracks here. And I mean, I am of the opinion that Sampha, sometimes at his best, is when it's just him and the piano. The silky smooth vocals on this track up against this sunny atmosphere and really just classy, once again, backing vocals. It's magic. Only, also, this track has only grown on me as a single. It's one of the more experimental cuts here. It's got that glitchy beat and weirdo production. I mean, Sampha has touched down on so many different styles throughout his very short solo career, but hearing him pop on a beat like this, honestly, it's refreshing. Its performance is so just sweet and enlightening and inspired. It's great. Evidence is the real deal. Once again, this track is just freaking like, it grabs you by the heart and doesn't let go. I love the way this track builds from absolutely nothing around Sampha, and it just ends up being so warm and inviting and gigantic. It's one of the most feel-good and inviting alternative R&B cuts I've heard all year, and I've heard a lot of great stuff in that genre. Wave Therapy, on the other hand, is the kind of lavish, elegant interlude that I feel like this album actually could have used more of. It's beautiful, and while it doesn't, overstay its welcome, it's 30 seconds long, it actually does add to the very sunny, cinematic feel of this record. And what if you hypnotize me? One word: classy. These pianos are so elegant. I love the atmosphere, just how broad it sounds here. This track is the equivalent of soaring through the clouds. And just Sampha's vocals just make it a sunny day. What am I even talking about? I stand by it though, damn it. And yeah, lyrically, this track is absolutely a gem. I think it's one of the best deep cuts here, and Leia Sen, who is this album's only one real pointed out feature, she nails it. As a matter of fact, I think she elevates the track and makes it even better. Yeah, this album's a tough one for me. I mean, there is so much great material here. The singles still absolutely slap, and Sampha, as well as just like, as far as a name in modern alternative R&B, he just sounds so good. He's really just creating his own niche, pulling ahead of the pack, and just doing his own thing and doing it really well, and I respect that. But there are some sloppy moments on here. There's some real sloppy moments, and at the end of the day, I hate to be this guy, but I kind of would just rather go listen to Process again. Still, this is a great alternative R&B album, but for me, I'd much rather go and listen to the new Kalela or the new Caliuchis. That's just me. This is still a very captivating, beautiful, life-affirming listen. Feeling a very strong 7 on this album, but let me know what you all think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.